There are a wide variety of skills that are important and helpful for young people to develop. I think about skills that are transferable, that will help students in all aspects of their lives, at school or in other learning environments like clubs or athletics, in relationships with their friends, parents, teachers, caregivers, any caring adults. Also skills that will help in employment and beyond. So it's difficult to choose just a few skills to share. When thinking specifically about skills to help students thrive in new and challenging experiences, I think of two in particular: critical and creative thinking skills and healthy relationship skills. So I'll start with critical and creative thinking skills. So those would be skills like planning, task focus, creative problem solving, time management, skills that help us get organized. So these skills can help us thrive with not only challenging academic tasks at school, but can also help us manage other more complex challenges in our lives. So we can develop these skills by noticing. So noticing when you see others in your life successfully modeling these skills, and then finding opportunities to practice and try out strategies for yourself. And remember that there are many different ways to be successful. The key is finding what works for you, because each of us is unique. So these ideas I've shared are kind of general, so maybe it would be more helpful to share a specific example. So I'll choose scheduling because this became an important skill when my son started his part-time job. So he needed a consistent, reliable way to keep track of his school, sports team, and family commitments so that then he could submit his availability to his employer. And each member of our family has a different approach to organizing their schedules, and it was important for him to find the one that worked for him, whether it be on paper, a digital app, or some other tool. And once he learned this skill, having it not only helped keep him organized, but it also helped to reduce stress. So now I'll look a little bit at healthy relationship skills. These skills in particular are at the core of developing and maintaining a mentally healthy, identity-affirming, and caring environment, whether that be at home or in a community space or at a job. It's so important to learn to understand and appreciate diverse perspectives and identities, to empathize with others, and to be a good listener, to really listen, to learn about resolving conflict respectfully. All of those are key skills for helping you build and maintain healthy relationships. So I work for School Mental Health Ontario, and on our website we have a section called Everyday Mental Health. And there are activities there that provide opportunities to practice some of these skills. For example, under conflict management, there's an activity that outlines a series of steps to follow when you're involved in a disagreement. Being able to navigate difficult conversation really takes practice. So these activities give you the opportunity to practice, and having this as a skill can help you thrive in challenging situations. Having a toolkit of skills that's personalized and unique to you as an individual is so helpful when facing challenges, whether that be at school, at your job, or in life in general. And when I got thinking about the answer to this question, I thought about a survey that we did at School Mental Health Ontario in partnership with Wisdom to Action. And this survey asked students across the province in grades 9 to 12 about their perspectives and their needs to help support positive mental health. And in this survey, a large number of students identified that they wanted help with developing skills for what they called stress management. So for this answer, I chose to focus on stress management skills for your toolkit. And Like I said before, each of us is unique, and strategies that work for some might not work for others. So every toolkit will look different. But the good news is that there are a wide variety of skills to choose from. And so that makes it really important to experiment with a range of skills so that you can find what works best for you. It might be helpful to think about whether you'd prefer to use a calming or grounding strategy, or whether something more energetic would suit you. Some strategies that might come to your mind when you think about stress management strategies could be breathing exercises, or visualization, stretching or muscle relaxation, or physical activity of some kind. Students have also identified cultural or religious practices like smudging or prayer as strategies that they find helpful when they're feeling stressed. Knowing yourself and knowing what strategy you need in a particular situation is not only helpful for your mind, it also can help decrease how our body physically reacts to stress. So being able to independently reflect on how you feel, and then knowing when to take the right tool out of your toolkit when we're feeling big feelings of stress or feeling overwhelmed can really help us move forward to address a new or challenging situation. So I thought it might be helpful to share a couple of skills that are in my toolkit. I am generally a person with a lot of energy, so my skills are more physical or movement based. So I love to go for a walk, a run, or a hike to help clear my head or distract my thinking when I need it. Other times when I'm not able to move around as much, I use some stretching strategies, and one of them is called tense and relax. So for example, when I'm on a video call for work, I won't be able to get up and move around. So I use this strategy, and feel free to try it with me. I'll do it with you now. So for tense and relax, you can use different parts of your body, and I'll start with my fists. So I take my fists and I pretend that there's a lemon that I'm trying to squeeze as much juice as possible out of. And you can do it out in front of your body, or if you want to be more subtle, it can be just in your lap. But squeeze as hard as you can and hold, and then slowly relax your hands. And it has a really, I like the sensation, the way that it feels, and then I would repeat it. So putting all of that big feeling into that clenched fist and then relaxing it. I also find this a good stretch if you've been on your keyboard or on your phone quite a bit. It actually feels good for the fingers. The other way you can do it is with your shoulders. So using that same muscle tension and pushing our shoulders up to our ears and holding, and then slowly bringing our shoulders down. And I find sometimes I need a lot of time to bring my shoulders down to get them so that they're relaxed, and it makes me aware of that. So that's one strategy that I use. Good luck finding tools to add to your toolkit.
My experience with the JA Company program has been every bit positive. I took the company program about 3 years ago from JA British Columbia. They had the company program in the Vancouver area at KPMG, a well-known accounting firm, and there was 10 of us from all different parts of the Lower Mainland. I was from Richmond, some people were from Vancouver, some people were from West Van, some people were from New West, etc. And we all had a varying knowledge of business, and some of us didn't know too much about business, but we all actually ended up creating a physical product, a tangible product, and selling it to strangers, friends, and family, and actually learning the steps and the way that one can create your own business, which is pretty cool. Also, none of us knew each other before we started company program in my CP, so it was a really cool opportunity to get to know each other, and throughout the company program as it progressed, to learn about each other's career paths, strengths, and skills. My company, we sold a plant kit, and it was in a beautiful box, and it was right to be gifted for all occasions. for Mother's Days, for birthdays, etc. It contained seed and soil, basically everything that you needed to have to grow herbs like basil and thyme. The company was called Tao Plants, and the word Tao has its roots in Chinese philosophy of Taoism, relates to seeking truth, the principles of yin and yang, and a lot of other things that are really interesting and important. We thought it kind of fit with our theme of calmness that plants bring to the room, and just with our branding and marketing. Me, as a marketing director in Tao Plants, I worked on everything from advertising to creating brochures to promoting via all the social medias and creating visuals like logos and graphics and business cards. Previous to JA though, my experience in marketing was only relating to school clubs, and due to kind of my limited knowledge through student council and social justice club and whatnot, this program tremendously helped me to expand my marketing knowledge and my business knowledge to take me to a whole nother level and really help me in my career and post-secondary decisions. One thing that I would like to highlight about company program is that although you receive a wonderful mentor that guides you throughout these months that you take on learning about business and about creating your company, what I personally liked about company program a lot is that you have an opportunity to do a lot of self-learning. And I think that's where you actually get a lot out of the company program, apart from the people and the mentor. It really allows you to learn in a risk-free, consequence-free, and safe environment where you get support and guidance, but you also have opportunity to just do your research and try things out and see how you can approach marketing, for example, for me, and what tools you can use. It really helps you feel more confident. And I really did appreciate that. Ultimately, my company did okay in sales. We had our mishaps here and there, like in terms of time management, which I would like to highlight as something very important in academia, business, and in life in general. But I think we were all of us in my CP program were able to gain so much more experience and make much more connections and opportunities. For me, CP helped me define my abilities and skills, which is something that I was quite unsure of in grade 12 and going into post-secondary. As well, it gave me the opportunity to meet wonderful entrepreneurs and inspiring people within JA itself, but also outside of JA through its wonderful sponsors and donors. I have learned so many skills that have helped me overcome my challenges and made me more successful outside of the JA program. One of these skills that I had to quite quickly pick up on was networking. JA has provided me with so many opportunities to network, and I honestly, starting to actually go to these events, these networking events and these leadership conferences, I didn't know how to make small talk. I didn't know how to properly shake a hand in a kind of professional way and how to have professional conversations, and these are skills that I had to research and learn. But now, through JA providing these opportunities and also just providing me guidance through CP and just in general throughout any JA program, I just feel so much better networking and communicating with others in a professional environment while also keeping true to my values and letting people know what my career paths are, what my interests are, and whatnot. Also, through JA, I was taught about teamwork. In high school, I was one of those people that always preferred doing projects alone. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I just thought it was just easier. I'll do all the work myself. However, I quickly learned in CP just the sheer amounts of benefits working with a team brings. There are so many perspectives and ideas that people bring to the table just due to their different knowledge and experience and background, and I really grew to appreciate collaboration and teamwork so much, and I think it really now adds to the work that I create, and I always look for feedback and really look forward to opportunities where I teamwork whereas before JA, it was something that I wasn't really as comfortable with.
Hello everyone, my name is Kay and I work here at Kids Help Phone as a bilingual clinical practice specialist. And I was invited to chat with you around what are some of the skills that I believe youth could work on, develop, should cultivate for their own well-being and to connect with others. The first one I would like to mention is self-awareness. What's happening within? What emotions come up when we are going through something pleasant or something difficult? Where are they happening in my body? Am I feeling hot? Am I feeling cold? All of those elements, I believe, are really important to develop. It's not easy. We are raised in our society and in different cultures to receive our emotions in different ways. And sometimes as an adult or as a young adult, it becomes difficult to really connect with them. And I think being able to deconstruct and reconstruct, or honoring that we're already good at, maybe, identifying our emotions and naming them. And once we've named them, are we able to ride the wave they take us on? Because they go up, they hit a peak, and then they go down. Are we able to allow ourselves to go along that curve safely in ways that we value, that are maybe valuable for our family, our culture, or our role? Depending on what I'm doing, I might not express my anger the same way. So do we have the tools to safely live and embody our emotions? And if we do have safe ways of riding that wave, do we then have safe places to put them? And that's where our connections with others come in. Do we have a safe person to live the wave with? And kind of figure out, geez, what would I name this emotion? Because that might not come spontaneously. We then have the safe person we express the lesson or the message behind the emotion once we've worked through it. Who is the message destined to? And can that person respond in a safe and brave, courageous manner to support what we need, what the message is? And if who it is destined to is not able to meet us all the way across the need and message of the emotion, do we have alternatives? Those alternatives could be within our own self. The alternatives could be with other safe and brave and courageous people. Those spaces could also be community, collective, group spaces that maybe who it's destined to could take a part of the message, and then the rest of it is held by our community, by our friends, a special coach, a special mentor, a special family member, in maybe a journal or somewhere we record our feelings, our drawings. So having places to experience our emotions, identify them, figure out the message or the lesson, who it's destined to, and then bringing it to the person it's destined to, or maybe even grieving that who it's destined to, they will not be able to hold the message or the need the way we need it to. And then that's where our alternatives come in. Now, with all of that work, because it is work, I would like to propose another skill: boundaries, and holding them and keeping them flexible enough to connect with others. Sometimes it's a risk. We don't know where to put the boundary yet with a given person or a given group or a given space. So we try. We try to the level of risk that we are emotionally able to handle. And then maybe it's a safe space. and it was worthwhile to take that risk. And sometimes it's not a safe space, and it stings. And then we have to go back and take care of that wound and then try again differently, or try with a completely different place. So I like to talk about boundaries not so much as walls, but as doors, doorbells, knockers, as windows, drapes, and shutters. There are certain people that will have to take their shoes off when they come into our home. There are people who can come unannounced. There are people I might not even freshen up for when they come in because we are that familiar and they are that safe. Other people, they might have to take an appointment. So all of those different ways of kind of equating our inner world and the intimate space we hold with people as a home, boundaries becomes doors and windows. And there are some folks that come in and out freely. Others have to take an appointment, and there are others, they don't come in at all. They might knock, and we might not respond. We have our alarm system before we go out into the world. So being able to navigate our emotions, name them as best as we can, gather around us those that are safe, being able to determine to what level of safety we could attribute to them. And then afterwards, or on top of all of that, are our boundaries as doors and windows, shutters and knockers, and our security system, I think are important skills to develop and cultivate and celebrate as young people and adults for our well-being and to be able to negotiate and develop connection with others. And lastly, to also be available for others. Take care, and maybe we'll chat again.